Now whatever it is, it's in that blob. And my cameramanship is not very good, but I shall run my detector over it so we'll be able to see it. So that's the blob in question. Now what it is another cresting Dali. So let's give it a go. Let's break it up and see if we can find out what it is. This is actually a lot harder to do than it looks. So it's in here somewhere. So let's go. Nope, it's not in there. So I suppose this is where the pinpointer comes in, because even though I could do that with two hands, with one, it's very difficult. So that is the blob, we think. It's much easier just to find this thing. And oh, what's that? What is that? Now that's a live dig, isn't it? And that is a big silvery thing. And I guess that's probably what it is, a big silvery thing. A button perhaps. Well, that's a nice thing. Let me try to do my camera work. And it seems to have a letter on it. 7. This way up, I suppose. 7. 7. Can you see that? No idea what that 7 is. It's kind of looking silvery. But I suspect... Let's see if we can get some good light on this. I can't really see in this camera whether you're getting it well or not. But I think I've managed to cast a shadow on it. There you are. And can you see that 7? I hope you can see that 7. Well, I'll wash it up later and we'll see what it is. Well, the Deus is a wonderful machine, and I got a signal. It's a tiny little signal. It seemed like a tiny little signal. And I decided to dig it because I'm not finding very much, and I couldn't really find it. It remained a tiny little signal. I don't know if we're getting to see this yet, but yeah, there it is. Oh, the devil is. Oh, yeah, there you go. I suppose I should use the zoom. Let's give this a go, as I'm a novice on this. So let's do a zoom. There you are. See that? Well, I haven't picked this up yet. This is a bloody great thing, mind you. Hold on a minute. Let me get back to where we once belonged. It's much easier to see this by eye than it is through this camera lens. Yeah, so there we go. I'm going to pick this up. And that is, who knows what that is? It's a big coin. It's a big coin. We like big coins. Now that is going to be some kind of, I suppose, late mid-Victorian, maybe French Revolutionary. But I can't make it. Oh, there we are. There's a head. Yeah, it's what's his name? The Bourbon King, I think. But we shall clean up later, and we'll be able to find exactly what it is, because there's a face on there that I can actually make out almost as I'm doing this with it, which is very unsatisfactory. I'll do the classic one of rub it on my trousers, and we'll see whether that improves the picture, because it's always nice to see straight ahead. Actually, I want to kind of spit on it, so that'll bring the head out, but I'm not going to do that. So it'll be a bit too graphic. But there you have it. We'll clean it up and look at it later. Nice coin. Bad signal, but we found it nonetheless. Now, these fields are full of pottery. You probably can't see that here, but if you look around, there's tiny lots of little bits of pottery, which is always a good sign in any field, and this field is really packed. But the interesting thing is it's also got these. You see that? Now that's obviously a flint, but that's like some kind of gemstone here. I mean, it's nice kind of normal flinty colour, and then on the end there's a blooming red shiny flint. Now, I've tried to look these up on the good old interwebs, but I can't see any reference to this. Anyway, it's rather interesting, so I'm going to pick these up as I go along. There just seems to be a lot of worked flint here. That's what it looks like anyway, but obviously you can think, well, maybe it keeps getting clobbered by the plough and shattering it, but there's lots of flints here that looked worked, but I'm no expert. But when I see a stone like this, see how translucent that is, it's red on the end and gold down the bottom, it makes me think, I should pick that up. So I'm going to pick that up, I'm going to look into that. Well, it's another thing about the dais, which you have to learn, is that you can find something and lose it again, because it's gone on the edge or something, and you have to keep kicking it around until you find out where it's got to. Well, that I think is it. I don't know what it is. Well, let me just make sure. No, it wasn't it at all. Okay, so that's it. So I'm just going to shuffle about a bit and see if we can open it up and find out what it is. So anyway, there we are. There we have that. Put the pointer away and see what's in there. Well, I can kind of see it. It looks like a rivety thing. Or a lump of irony thing. Or just a lump of some rubbishy thing. Oh, let me turn that off. That's driving me nuts. Where were we? Oh yeah. We were trying to find. Oh, it's a broachy, badgy, buckly thing. It's a nice buckly thing. It's a pretty big buckly thing. Wow. Okay, and it's still got its tooth in on it. So that's not bad at all, because that is not modern. That's going to be old. And oh, we're going to do the old rub it on the trousers trick. See what happens. It didn't help a lot. I think we have to wait to wash it up, because I don't want to do the classic metal detectorist mistake and bust the pin off it by fiddling. But anyway, that's not bad. That's not bad. Let me get the right light. There we are. And again, that was a bit of a dodgy signal. And then it disappeared, and then it reappeared. But it must be said that this ground is waterlogged, full of guff. So we are finding it, even though, in a way, the old dais is kind of half helping and half hindering. I zoomed in on that for some reason. So there we are. A nice buckle. Now, there is something under that, because that signal's loud and clear, so we're going to dig it up and see what we've got. But I think, well, actually, let me show you what it sounds like on the dais. So we'll move that for a moment. Could probably push our pinpointer right in there and dig it out with that, but we won't. That's an 81, 83. Clear as the day. So that's going to be a coin, he said, hopefully. Anyway, I'm going to give it a go. Why not? I'm going to try the live dig thing. Today it stands up on its own, which is rather good, he said. Anyway, right, so it's there. We think it's there. And I'm going to dig this. It's a live dig. We had a good one earlier on. And let's see if we can get another one. Well, that's a pretty lame hole. Let's see if it's out or in. No, it's still there. So, really, if you're going to make these videos, you need 3 hands. And I don't have 3 hands, so you must excuse me for not being the best at this in the world. I suppose, in due course, I'll get quite good at it, like everyone else seems to, but right now, this is my first attempt. So, it's not very accomplished. Well, the hole's bigger now. I don't know if you can see that, but this is pretty waterlogged ground. So there's water at the bottom of that hole. Oh, it's in there. Well, what do you know? Okay, well, we're going to go to pinpointer now, because that'll be much easier to deal with than with the detector. So it's in here somewhere. Well, just pick that up, I guess. It's in there somewhere. Now, what we're going to do is something sharp on my finger. Yep, it's in there. It's in there somewhere. That feels like something sharp. So I can feel it. Something sharp, ouch, in there. And there it is. Who knows? Ooh, it's a weird thing. It's a regulation bottle of wine top, I think. That'd be my guess. Ew. Maybe not. Maybe not. It's a something. Normally I would guess that's to be a bottle top, because the French do like to throw their wine bottle tops in there, but actually it's looking a lot more interesting than that. It's silvery, which probably means it's aluminium. But, ooh, there goes the dais, it's fallen over in shock. No. Now, I think that that is some kind of tag of something or other, but you never know. We'll clean it up, it might be something better than that. Well, we've dug this one out. It's a clear 80. It's actually a bit of a pick to locate. And where's my pointer? Oh yeah, there it is. So I guess it's on there somewhere. Nice. Oh, now, do you see that? Oh, make a hash of this. So it is there. So I'll pick that up and see what it is. Huh, that's definitely a coin. Or is it a coin? Oh, it's a coin, but is it a medallion? Oh, it's got a eagle on it. It's got an eagle on it. How can we get this in the light? Which means that it's good old Maximilian. There we are. Now, I suppose I should be trying. There we are. That probably gives it some light if I can find my hand. And that's what we've found in that hole, amongst all that sludge. Not a bad little coin. Well, this just popped up. I hope it's clearer on the screen than it is on the viewfinder. And this looks like a bag seal. I did get one out of this field before, and it said guano of Peru. So maybe this is a bag seal for a bag of bird poop all the way from South America. Or not, as the case may be. We'll find out when I clean it up. Well, there's a little surface find, I think. I might be wrong. Just a little white dot as far as I can see. But we're going to pick it up, and I think it's a musket ball. It is a musket ball. The Deus went mad over it. You'd have thought it was a bar of gold for the signal that it gave off. But there it is. Little musket ball. 18th century, I should think. Maybe not, maybe a little later than that. Not a bad find. Not something I'm going to leave in the field. Now, I've been whittering on about stones in this field, and tell me that, which appears to be a little big piece of carnelian. Tell me that, or sardonyx, or sard as they call it. Tell me that isn't an arrowhead or a spearhead of some kind. Tell me that isn't worked. I mean, maybe it isn't, but it's a very nice piece, whatever it is, and it certainly looks worked to me. It's probably more valuable than even if I dug up a nice silver coin in here, or maybe even a gold coin. If this really is a worked arrowhead, it's probably worth a bob or two, being that it's in what looks like a semi-precious stone to me. But anyway, onwards and upwards. I'm going to look more into these and see if it's just my fantasy or a reality. Whatever, if it's caused by the plough, caused by accident, it's a damn good job. Now, I don't know if you can see this. I had to dig a very big hole for this. As I said, the pinpoint is not so great on the Deus, but that is what we're after. And this, if I can keep it on camera, it looks like a thimble. Half a thimble, I think these are called. Now, whether it's a whole thimble broken in two, whether it's all meant to be half, I don't know, but that is a thimble, very, very deep, I suppose, amongst iron. Well, I had trouble finding that tiny little thimble in this whacking grey hole, but as it turns out, I've got to take my hat off to the Deus, because, there we are, it fell over in amazement. This is what was in there with it. And picking up a tiny little thimble on top of a whacking great bolt like this, that's not bad. That's a pretty good achievement, however frustrating it is to try to find the thing in the hole. So anyway, Deus does see good stuff through rubbish really quite well, because this was right next to the other and it still said, there's something in there, oh, and there's iron too, oh, there's something in there, there's definitely something in there. And I don't like to dig, so I have to really be convinced to dig up something where there's iron around. And it picked it up, and this was what was giving it the grief. So hands up and hats off to the Deus. Well, this got lost in the hole, but is now out. Oh, there it is. That is it there. And that is tiny. That is tiny. Hold on, let's get the pinpointer away. Well, for a March day, it is boiling hot. And I'm slowly but surely melting in the heat. Which is not really that warm, but it's just me lugging all this kit around, you know, filled full of deep mud. So this is what's come out of our hole, and I hope we get some focus on that. And this is a little medieval hammered silver coin. It's not really silver, it's like 10% silver. They call it billion. It's a tiny little coin. It must have had some silver in it, because it looks pretty fairly clipped to me. So that's not bad. It's a tiny little thing. It was so deep that when I dug the hole, it disappeared, so I had to keep digging. That's the thing about the Deus. When it gets a signal, if it loses, you know it's there. It's just moved out of range, so you just keep digging it out until you find it. It takes a little bit of faith to do that. But that's what you're having faith in, this tiny, 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 teeny, weeny hammered coin. Probably sort of 14th century, 13th century. There's some pattern on that. I'll try to make out what that is later. Well, I'm having a great day finding things that look like neolithic axe heads and bits and pieces. I've got a pocket full of rocks, but this is the first metal thing I found. And it kind of read iron, but not iron. So I don't know which bit of it is not iron. But it's a bit like yesterday's buckle. Still got its tang. I believe that's the right technical term for the tooth in the middle that goes through your belt, or the belt of the rein of the horse. I take it this is off a horse harness. It's a chunky old piece, and I'm going to stop fiddling with it, otherwise I will undoubtedly break the tang off, as normally happens when I see people play with these things in the field. But anyway, not bad. Apart from that, it's a little hammered, and lots of lovely little rocks. This is the only thing so far today, and I've been out here for a few hours now. Well, I don't know what you think, but does that look accidental to you? There's a lot of these in here. My back's getting heavier and heavier. I mean, that looks pretty worked to me. I mean, it looks like all those photographs that you see of worked flints, you know, scrapers and stuff. So, I'm picking this one up. I'm going to have a bag of rocks when I get back, as opposed to a bag of gold, but hey, just as precious if it really is what I think it is. Now, good signal there. That's 64, so it's kind of lead really. So we're going to dig that up. I'm going to try to do that live. A disaster will no doubt follow. So anyway, I think it's there, roughly, although I've been pretty rough at pinpointing these things. Ooh, balancing act now. So let's put that over there. Now, I suppose I should run my detector over that again, rather than go to the pinpointer. So anyway, live dig. Ooh, oh, that's good, it came straight out. We like it when it does that, makes life much easier. So anyway, pinpointer now. Gotta find the pinpointer. This is a superb piece of kit, this Garrett pinpointer. Oh, there it is. And it's a bronze thing. Ooh, interesting bronze thing. Ooh, it looks like a sort of spoon. Let me just put the pointer away. Oh, let me just make sure there's nothing else in there. No, nothing else in there. Nothing else, just this little bronze thing. Put that back in the old pocket. And have a quick further look. Wow. Ooh, looks like a hoof. Hoof of a bronze horse. Where's the rest of it? Ooh, there's definitely a bronze hoof. Let me just see if I can get some more of the mud off. A bronze hoof. It does actually look like it's been broken off the rest of it. Well, that would have been a rather fine piece of sculpture. And of course, it's the foot's here. The rest must be here somewhere, you would like to think anyway. So anyway, I think that's a bronze hoof. Of course, I want to say it's Roman, but it's not Roman. But it does look decently old. Got a nice patina on it. So Yeah, no, it's definitely a horse's hoof, isn't it? Let's get up close to it so we can see it in all its green glory. So, yes, a green hoof. Unexpected, but nonetheless welcome. Haven't found any buttons in this field, but I think this is one of them. I think that's going to be a button. Yep, there's a button. There's a button. I wasn't going to do a live dig because it's a bit of a lightweight signal. I mean, it just fell into the hole as I dug it out. So there you are. Button. Well, hole. Signal. Hope it's good. Not in there. You don't think it's in there, eh? Okay, out we go with the pinpointer. Okay, so it's there. Oh, in fact, you can see it poking out. So that's it. And that looks like a nice buckle. Oh, it's got a pattern on it. Oh, I like those ones. Yeah. Nice buckle. I keep it on the screen so you can actually see it. Nice buckle indeed. See that down there? That's a nice little pattern. Across there too. Bronze, of course. Don't seem to find much silver. I think you've got to find 100 things bronze before you find one silver, and 100 things silver before you find one gold, which means I've got to find 10,000 bronze things before I find my gold coin, but I don't mind doing that. Well, I suppose I could always put this thing back in the hole and dig it up again, but I didn't film this one because it's such a rubbish signal. Well, it turns out it might be a rubbish signal because that might actually be a ring there, a really old, really not very good ring, but nonetheless a ring. It's very thin and ring-like. And it looks like it's busted, but it looks like it really snap easily, but it looks and it feels like a ring. I can't think what else it could be, frankly. It's so puny. So I should think that's a ring. A very, very old, very, very kind of down market ring, but nonetheless a ring. So that's quite nice. So in the pocket it goes. So this lot is going to be interesting because that disappeared down the hole and I lost sight of it, so to speak, completely. But I don't think that's it. No, it should be in here. Nope, it's not in here. Okay, well. I think this is a job for Mr. Pinpointer. Unless that's it. No, that's not it. Okay. Well, no wonder I lost sight of it. Look at it, it's a tiny thing. Tiny, tiny, who knows, indeterminate little pellety thing, I suppose. Pellety thing? Yeah, that's been my guess. Clean it up. It's never going to be gold, but you never know. It might not just be a pellety thing when all the mud's off it, but I think it's just a pellety thing. Well, actually, no wonder it's so hard to find and it disappeared. It's so tiny.